Bob, you're killing me. It's Parliament of Papayas. So, dads, this is where we're going to come together and give our stamp of approval. Kurt's got the gavel. He still won't give it up, but that's okay. You know, for 3 installments of $19.95, he will ship me one. So I'm saving up my pennies and my proof of purchases to get it from me. Normal for dads or not? Dad sitting in the bathroom or garage or staying at work to hide from their kids.
I mean, it's a bit of a cliche. You see it pop up as jokes all the time.
As joke, right? But every joke has some truth to it. So we have to be honest here. Have we ever taken longer in the bathroom than we should have?
I wouldn't say I've never taken longer to do a task than I ought to have because I'm listening to a podcast or something, or I'm watching a
Kelsey
show.
logged off. She's not listening now. You can be honest.
She's listening.
No, she turned it off. Trust me, bud. Trust me.
And just to finish up without having to pause every 3 seconds because hey dad.
I guess technically that's avoidance because we're talking about avoidance.
Yes.
Taking that extra. What could have been a 10-minute thing, it turns into 30 minutes. She's like, I just needed some break from these kids or something.
Yeah, I also think. How many kids do you have, Joe? 3.
I've got 3. Yeah,
he's a rookie.
So I think the number of kids has something to do with it as well. I think the more kids that you have, the more likely you are to do this. But I will say I don't have a recollection of doing this, but if we have like a bunch of people over, like we're hosting a family gathering or something like that, absolutely.
Yes.
Look, I host my granddaughter's birthday party every year, and we get somewhere 10 to 20 people depending on the year. And I love my granddaughter to death. Like, she's one of my favorite people in the world. 10 minutes after people show up, I'm like going, I need a break. I'm going to the store. Anybody need anything? Which is the equivalent. I don't need to go to the store.
Sure, yeah.
I'm making an excuse to go to the store because I like my solitude. So that's part of this. Like, at my wedding reception, my wife and I sat down as the first time as husband and wife. We sat down at the head table at the reception. 10 minutes in, I'm going, how long do we need to stay?
Does anybody need anything?
No, but it was like, how long do we need to stay? It just, So,
people good.
So I think it is more normal whether people want to admit it or not.
Joe, you talked about doing tasks. Tell me you've gone to physically. Hey, work needs something. I got to go down to the basement for an hour.
Thank you for your honesty, Kelsey.
Yeah. Kelsey's mom sometimes do it too. When they're little, it's hard. It's a lot harder for the moms to get away. My wife tells stories of like she'll try to get it when they were smaller, toddlers, right? She'll go to the bathroom by herself, and then the fingers come in the door. Ma. No, yo. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been on call for a long time, but I don't think I ever use that as an excuse to avoid it, because most of the on-call stuff is after hours anyway, and so
I think you're missing the whole heart.
I know I am, but
it doesn't mean you're a bad person.
No,
if you're
it
admitting
doesn't.
This.
But a lot of the time when I would get on-call calls, it was after the kids had already gone to bed. And so that's time that I can spend with my wife. I don't generally try to avoid my wife. Every now and again, I do try to avoid my kids.
I'm gonna frame this a little bit of a different way.
Okay.
You are at home. You're not going to work. Kelsey's at home too, and the kids are running around like mad people because they can't go outside, or for whatever reason, they're just being nutty today. Do you give yourself a timeout in the bathroom?
I mean, I've done that, or just set the kids for a timeout.
Yeah.
I admit it admit that I've done that before.
Okay, but you're trying to frame this around. I have work stuff to do, so I have to take the extra time. And we're talking about being honest about avoidance.
Look,
And
I have.
you need. Look, the reason why we go to the garage though, or the bathroom or whatever is because we need the time out, not them.
Yeah.
Who cares about them at the moment?
Okay, I'll take this out a little bit of that. When my kids were smaller, they definitely got nap times because I needed it, not because they needed it sometimes.
Sure.
But
But at a certain age, though, that doesn't work anymore.
No, right. So the family thing, people come over. It just depends what's going on. I will sit in my backyard. Like somebody tries to take my chair right now, get out of my chair.
Yep.
I got my cigars. I got my alcohol. I'm going to sit here by my fire pit all day and enjoy the weather. Because usually it's like Easter or that kind of thing. But I have absolutely, when I had the studio in the basement, would go downstairs and eat and watch my TV or play my games, whatever. Same, got my studio out here in the yard. I'll do that. But definitely there's been some times when I go to the bathroom and like, it's actually kind of nice and quiet right now. I'm just going to watch some more TikTok and just see. And there's definitely been times after the show, I'm like, I don't feel like going inside. I'm just going to sit here and watch some TikTok and sit at my desk.
I have a theory that most of the reason why men own barbecues is for their time out.
Yeah.
Because I've also done that. Like if I'm making something for the party, part of the reason I'm making it is because I have to now pay attention to that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then if everything's going on and it's just crazy, I need to go check the smoker. And I get a beer, bring it outside with me, sit next to my smoker and go, yeah, it's going good.
You know what's funny is because it brings, with the family stuff, it brings so much peace to the event because if I get bored and I hear people say stupid stuff, which they all say, I start having the fun game of let's piss people off and call their stupidity out because I'm bored. So if I'll go sit by the fire pit and drink my bourbon and smoke a cigar, my wife will virtually wait on me hand and foot. She'll come out like, hey, you need a plate? You ready? I'll take it, just because it's bringing harmony. I'm happy, the family's happy, she's happy, as like, not that I would ever say, well, we should wait on you, but it is very nice to have somebody bring you some pecan pie and ice cream and not have to get up for it.
So in all seriousness, though,
Rando's
I mean,
Rando's dead on.
Part of the issue is look, Charles, to take your example.
Yeah.
Let's say you had to stay inside and deal with everybody. Not only would you make their lives worse, but you would make your own life worse because you would start getting all stressed out and pent up all of that versus giving yourself a timeout because now everybody's happier.
Yeah.
And then when you have to rejoin, you're in a better mood.
Yeah. And even in this last one, I talked about setting up a projector for New Year's Day and they wanted to watch the foosball game and all that crap. I turn it into like a gig. So I set up a chair next to my computer projector like I'm working.
Yep.
And I just sat there while they were 5 feet from me, but they're at the kitchen table and they're all talking dumb crap. And I'm over here and everybody, it is a universal truth. You want to disappear at a party? Act like you're working some tech. You will not exist to anybody. Nobody talked to me. Nobody did anything. I was like, this is kind of cool. It's too cold to go outside. So it's kind of cool. I can sit next to my projector. I could play my video games, do whatever I want. And just like a real gig, nobody bothers me. It was fun. This one from Random Kids. Oh no, I have to work on Friday instead of going to that kid from church's birthday party. You're working on the garage for a fake issue. Yeah, plenty of people do it. I don't lie about it. I'll definitely tell people you're welcome to my food in my house, but I don't want. And I mean, the whole getting a nice backyard versus before we had an okay front yard, but it just wasn't enough space, and too many people wanted to be out in the front yard as well. I'm like, nah, I'll go down to my basement. But now that I have a nice space, I seem more social because there I am, and it's open to anybody to come walk and talk and sit out. We have a picnic table. I think no, Kurt, you haven't been to this house yet, but you can imagine it. It's.
I think I have. Yeah.
Were you here last year?
Yeah, well,
or 2 years ago.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
You
so
you were in the new house.
All right, cool, yeah.
Because
So,
you
so
got your kids sheds all out in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
I slept
Cool.
in your shed.
That's right, you did. You slept right here in the studio. Yeah. So okay, cool. So you've both been. Yeah, it's just having the ability to have space, and man, I know I don't own the copyright on this, but I have some really dumb in-laws. And they say some really dumb crap. That even the other, like, I'm not talking about the ones who live in the neighborhood with me. I'm talking about the ones who come in from out of town once or twice a year that everybody doesn't like. That don't have to even say hi to them. I get my plate, I move out, done. It's so good. But yes, there are definitely times when I'm like, my wife's mad at the kids and they're yelling. I'm like, I'm just going to play another round of Balatro real quick before I go. Let that cool off for a minute. That's their problem, not my problem.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good for our mental health. And I think that we make our families' lives better by doing that.
Yeah.
For taking some time to ourselves.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. And I get it now, Kurt. I know why Joe's dodging the work thing because I finally figured out his excuse.
He's afraid of Kelsey.
Well, yeah, we know that. We know that. But it's like, no, kids, Daddy's got to go pray.
Well,
He goes down in the basement, pray into Jesus.
There was a while there where I was struggling, and I talked to Kelsey about it, and she was like, "If you need to, just stay downstairs for half an hour after you're done with work and watch something,
Decompress." Yeah.
And so I've done that, and it's just. Yeah, I talked to her about it.
I think most people do hide it, right? They don't talk to their spouse. They sneak out, and that is how I framed it.
In the moment, yes. I mean, again, it depends on the context. But like I would talk to my wife about it afterwards, and just say, "Hey, I disappeared because I was going to kill someone."
And everybody needs their space, right? Everybody definitely needs some time.
Well, my wife also understands I don't like crowds, even if I know them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. My wife will absolutely in the middle, because this thing, Christmas dinner, right? It's an all day thing. The Thanksgiving starts at like 2. Okay. So all morning, her and her brother's been prepping, cooking, blah, 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 blah. Everybody shows up at 2. By about 4, nobody cares. Everybody's just talking to whoever's there. She'll go take a nap. She will disappear to the back and take a nap and just gone. And very rarely somebody goes, "Where did it go?" Because nobody cares. Everybody's just caught up in their own little conversations. They don't even realize. And we do have a couple of different spaces you can be in, so you can be anywhere. But yeah. All right. Well, good to know that everybody but Joe takes time for themselves. And Joe's just a great husband. And that's okay.
Roll that die.
What do you think I do this podcast for?
The money.
Yeah, the money. Oh.